I fed the street cats and gave them fresh water. Spotty Cat, one of my favorite street cats, did something really sweet today when I was feeding. I see her every day, but for some reason today, she came all the way from the abandoned house to my parking lot and just started rubbing against my hand. She was so happy to see me. The biggest threat to these cats are the scummy people who live in this neighborhood. Not necessarily the homeless people, but sometimes them. But most of the time, it's from residents that are from impoverished countries and they don't know how to treat animals. But some people just don't know any better. I've learned that it can be said a lot about people in this neighborhood, the way that they act tell me what kind of environment they were raised in. Personally, I was raised in a completely loveless, cold environment, but for whatever reason, I did not let that affect who I am, at least not completely. I was somehow able to mold myself without parents or guidance and have morals while following the golden rule. Considering how I was raised, the abuse I suffered, there's no logical reason why I am kind and empathetic, but I am. There's no reason for me to be righteous or fight for good and protect the innocent, but for some reason I do. This leads me to believe in God or some life after or before this life. I have siblings who are liars and deviants. My twin brother is a straight-up sociopath, and the same thing can be said at least one, if not both, of my sisters. My brother and I used to walk home from school a couple miles every day from third grade and onward, and while we were in elementary school and a couple times in middle school, a man and sometimes a woman with him would drove by on occasion, slowly drive by me and my brother while we were walking and tell us they knew our mother and one of us should get in their car. We didn't look like brothers, so they didn't think we were related. And my brother and me would always hesitate, and the individual or individuals always drove off. Now, neither my brother or me ever spoke to our father. He had full custody and straight up hated us and wanted nothing to do with us. But after telling a teacher at school that someone tried to get us in their car, we were told to immediately tell our parents. I remember working up the courage to talk to him, and so I went up to him and I said, someone keeps driving by us while we're walking home and telling us they know our parents and to get in their car. Now, my father was a straight up narcissistic sociopath. A narcissistic sociopath cannot feel empathy, but they can feel disgust. And after I told this, I immediately saw a face of disgust on it, like he knew what was up. And then he tells me, get in their car, and he laughs, get in their car. He didn't tell us why, though. My own father would have rather seen the most monstrous, evil things happen to me and my twin brother rather than protect us. Even though we were little kids, he saw us as threats to his disgusting pedo infatuation with our sisters. We still didn't understand. We were just kids. Later, one of our sisters pulled us aside that same night and told us to never get in the stranger's car who said that. But we still didn't understand. We didn't until we were adults. We figured anything could be better than the quote-unquote family that we had. I remember my brother proclaiming that if it happened again, he was going to take the risk and get in the car. He's almost got in the first time before I told him not to. What's the worst that could happen, my brother said. We might actually get a family that wants us. I'm going to take the risk. Luckily, it didn't happen again, but neither my brother and me learned how sinister these attempts and the straight-up evil our father was until later on. You see, our father did not want me or my brother to succeed in life. When he first got custody, when we were 5, he immediately threw away all of our toys because he didn't want us to be smart or creative. He thought toys make kids smart and creative. And now that the pervert made it to old age, he failed at making us uncreative, but he did succeed in getting his daughters to take care of him. One of them probably wipes his dirty ass every day. The other one stole all my grandparents' and mother's money and lied and schemed my brother out of any inheritance. If there is a hell, both my perverted father and his 2 daughters will be there. If my father was able to be so cruel to his only 2 sons and he looked up to somebody like Ted Bundy, what else is he capable of? I recently did an at-home DNA test, and personally, I don't have anything to hide. But if this monster really is my father, hopefully they can solve some horrendous crime, not for my own personal revenge, but because I have a better idea of just how evil he is more than anyone. Maybe a family who actually loved their child the way a parent is supposed to love their child, not in some sick way. Hopefully that family can find some closure. And I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't mind knowing his dirty ass is spending his old age in a prison cell. My name is Gregory Brandt, Mr.G. If you want to know more about me, check out my book, Gonzo Education. It's an autobiography. I hope you enjoy the story, and check out a Cat Lives Matter t-shirt. Love you guys. Aloha.